Hello everybody and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway for the 2004 season regular season finale here in the Pepsi 400 to determine our playoff field of 16. The Hendrick drivers of Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson with us the green flag on the front row, each combined for 3 wins. Johnson 2 wins on the season, Gordon 1 win on the season, with Earnhardt Jr. in 3rd, Kurt Busch in 4th, who needs to get 4 points on Casey Mears or 15 on Dale Jarrett to get in. We'll see what's going to happen here. Who will get the final spots in the playoffs? We will find out as the green flag is out and we are underway in Daytona. The Pepsi 400 has begun. The regular season finale underway. Jeff Gordon with the early advantage over Jimmy Johnson. He's going to help from Kurt Busch, Terry Labonte, all the Hendrick cars. A very strong qualifying effort today. Most of them inside the top 10 to 12 area. Of course, Dale Earnhardt Jr. right there in the back. He's a very good plate racer, as is Tony Stewart, your Talladega winner from earlier this season, lurking there in 5th place. But Jeff Gordon clear for the lead. He's had some bad Daytona luck the last couple of seasons, trying to change that today and find himself up there fighting for the win, of course, to get a 2nd win of the season, besides that New Hampshire victory that vaulted him into the playoffs and got him safely in there. But the 20 of Tony Stewart is forming a 3rd lane on the bottom. They're already going 3 wide. He puts Dale Jr. in the middle. Now we're 3 wide for 3rd. Now for 2nd. Oh, Mark Martin in the wall in the back, who just won Richmond. He gets 3rd win of the season last episode. He's now into the wall. Damage to the 6th machine right there. He gets into the fence, but he should be able to be okay and continue on. He just gets way back in that outside lane. Some separation starting to form throughout this back. Tony Stewart all the way up to 2nd now. Going for the race lead on Jeff Gordon. Here comes Tony Stewart. The 20 is a man on a mission today. He is moving his way to the front. He wants that 2nd Super Speedway win and 2nd win of the season to try to go back to the championship 4 like he did last season. Tony Stewart will now take the lead away from Jeff Gordon. They got a tight 3 wide squeeze here with Nemechek Jr. and Johnson right there. Now Stewart still leading, but Joe Nemechek making a charge on the inside. Of course, Nemechek, one of those drivers in a must-win situation and must outpoint one of those 3 guys. Busch, Mears, and Jarrett fighting on points. Another 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Joe Nemechek, front row Joe. So good at these super speedways, trying to bring home that elusive victory that's eluded him all season. Here comes Dale Jarrett inside of him, the 88. He comes in this race plus 15 above Kurt Busch at the winner's fight for the final playoff spot. So him running 2nd, going for the lead right now is exactly what he needs to do to get into the playoffs. How about Bill Elliott, the 98 back there on the bottom, trying to work his way forwards as the pack comes thundering by turn 1 and 2. Nemechek, Jarrett, Stewart 3 after the lead. Dale Jarrett to the point here at Daytona. Jarrett will lead, trying to lock himself into the playoffs. Got Scott Riggs behind him, whose season has just fallen apart after such a strong start. He goes way up to the top to block Nemechek, trying to make a move on Dale Jarrett. Does not work. Behind him, here comes the 98 of Bill Elliott, that McDonald's Dodge, one of his few starts this season, making a run on the back of Dale Jarrett here. He's got help from the RCR duo of Robbie Gordon and Dave Blaney as he's blocking them both. Bill Elliott now on the inside of Dale Jarrett for the race lead. Sadler is there as well. Dale Jarrett's teammate trying to bring some help here. Some incredible racing to start this race here at Daytona. 4 laps in as Bill Elliott leads, a former winner. He won this race in 2002 season, I believe, when he was still driving for Ray Evernham on the 9 car. Of course, he's retired from full-time competition after last season. Now some part-time runs. This season doing really well. Got a top 10 in the Brickyard 400. Once again running well here at Daytona. Almost 4 wide for the lead. Robbie Gordon middle. Dave Blaney down low. They make the pass. Here comes Elliott Sadler as well. As what a tremendous battle we're going to see here. The RCR car is looking very fast today with Blaney and Robbie Gordon at the front. Kevin Harvick charging his way forwards. Bill Elliott in the middle of the 8's cars. Jarrett and the 30 of Dave Blaney is now in the wall. Goes the 10 of Scott Riggs there, pushing too high up the racetrack. And not a good move for him there early in this race. So he cut back down the travel to complete lap number 5 of racing. 3 wide middle contact. There was Elliott Sadler to Dale Jarrett in the wall. Around they go in front of the field. And the big one is underway at Daytona. We got cars slamming, spinning everywhere. Earnhardt is in it. Jeff Gordon I saw got sent spinning. The whole half the field's in it. It's the huge one at Daytona. And it strikes on lap 5 of the regular season finale. Takes out a lot of good cars. Jeff Gordon, Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett piles in. Ricky Rudd is in this. A ton of guys here. We're going to see what happens. We're going to go slow-mo here. Bill Elliott just turns Elliott Sadler as he comes up the track. 3 wide squeeze. Smacks him into his teammate Dale Jarrett. Sadler spins. Looks like we're good until he bounces off the wall. Sends Jarrett spinning off of Bill Elliott. And that's what triggers this. That collects Tony Stewart. Carl Edwards. What an avoidance right there. But then Junior gets drilled. Slammed by Jeff Gordon. Ricky Rose. Jimmy Johnson goes spinning behind us. Newman's in this. Scott Riggs piles in. Bobby Hamilton in the 09. Just the big one. We're going to have a lot of replays for this one, I assure you. As Elliott Sadler goes crashing down here into turn 1 at Daytona. A massive wreck. Taking out a lot of drivers fighting for their playoff life here. And a lot of seasons just got changed, especially the 88 being taken out all of a sudden. That's going to open the door for Casey Mears and Kurt Busch to get that last 2 playoff spots to go on board the 38 of Elliott Sadler. See right there, big hit. Oh man, he got slammed by someone in the door, sent him into his teammate Dale Jarrett. I think that was Newman who drilled him. Unbelievable. Now we're going to go on board the 88 of Dale Jarrett, of course, who is trying to fight his way into the playoffs. Plus 15 coming into this race now in severe jeopardy of being eliminated after this crash. Two big hits right there from Junior and Elliott Sadler. Now we'll go on board with your regular season points leader, Jimmy Johnson, trying to secure the regular season championship over Jeff Gordon. Jeremy Mayfield could not afford this. Getting involved in this incident. Let's see how much damage, if any, he gets. Great job, champ, for Jimmy Johnson. He only gets a spin through the grass, so the 48 is going to be just fine. Jimmy's going to keep his regular season title hopes alive. Very, very lucky. Now we're going to ride on board with the Home Depot on board with Tony Stewart, who is trying to get his second win of the season and had a very fast car tonight here in Daytona. Did a great job basically getting checked up and avoiding that. Only some minor damage for Tony Stewart. Great job avoiding that. Now we're on board with the 97 of Kurt Busch, who, I mean, was inches away from having his season ruined here, but he will narrowly avoid this wreck. Great job from Kurt Busch there. Only minor contact with Rusty Wallace. Keeps his hopes alive to stay in the championship chase here. Very lucky. Very fortunate. Now we're going to ride on board with Bill Elliott's McDonald's onboard camera and watch the chaos that he causes, or it happens right next to him here. Smacked in the wall right there. It's a little bit kind of Dale Jarrett, and the Bill Elliott gets fine. He gets away with it. Very lucky as they go wrecking behind him. My goodness. Wild tournament. We're going to go on board with Carl Edwards in the 99 for Roush Racing, who looks to be having another good run today. I mean, I don't know how Carl Edwards got through this, but just watch. Unbelievable wreck avoidance there from Carl Edwards right there, just swinging it left, keeping her under control and avoiding that thing. Very impressive from Carl Edwards. Now on board the 0-1 of Joe Nemechek, who's in a must-win situation to make the playoffs. He was right in the middle of this wreck as it erupted. Unbelievable job of getting checked up and dodging spinning cars. Great job by Joe Nemechek. Now we're going to go on board with Jeff Gordon. And heartbreak at Daytona again for Jeff Gordon after starting on the pole here. Just drilled right there, sent into Dale Jr. and then spun around, and that will be the end of Jeff Gordon's day today. He won the regular season with 1 victory after having 4 last season. Now we're going to go with the Wood Brothers onboard camera with Ricky Rudd. Almost got through that. Just piled into the back of Jeff Gordon at the end of it. It was like Ricky Rudd's streak of consecutive playoff appearances will end at 2, as he will not make it this season. He had to win, but not going to get it done today. Involved in this, we're going to go on board the 17 of Matt Kenseth, who of course has to win this race to get in the playoffs, but barely keeping his hopes alive, just like his teammate Kurt Busch here. I mean, they were wrecking right next to him. He had to avoid Casey Mears and Jeff Green. Great job checking up here. He just gets woed up and then goes down through the grass, and a great job avoiding the wreck for Matt Kenseth right there. Keeps his hopes alive, stays in the game. Absolute legendary run right there. Now we're going to go with the Budweiser onboard camera with fan favorite Dale Earnhardt Jr. Unfortunately having his hopes crushed of a Daytona win, as his hopes come to an end here early at the Pepsi 400. That's supposed to be a little bit of neck code right there that got him slammed into Elliott Sadler and triggered the big wreck. So Junior a little bit unlucky there with the neck code taken around. Now we're going to go with the Altel onboard camera with Ryan Newman. I see he got squeezed in the wall, piled into this one. Looks like Newman won't get another Daytona victory. Now we're going to go on board the Mikisuki on board with Johnny Benson. Sorry, Bobby Hamilton, I mean. Slams Elliott Sadler, gets piled into Junior there. Puts an end. He should still be able to continue, but he'll definitely be damaged. Now we're going to go with the onboard camera from the 43 of Jeff Green. Looks like with the Cheerios on board, as he nearly made it through this one, but he got turned by his own teammate Casey Mears here. Well, not teammate, he got turned by the 41 of Casey Mears right there into Greg Biffle. Spins down the track, so not too bad. He should be okay, be able to continue just fine. Not much damage at all. And now we're going to get one final look at this wreck from Elliott Souther, and this the big one here in the Pepsi 400. Gonna take out 6 to 7 cars out of this race, involving at least 20. And so a lot of contenders taking on this big one. It's going to completely change the shape of this race and the playoff grid, especially with Dale Jarrett being out. It's going to be big as Dave Blaney scored in leader. Now Jeremy Mayfield, he's back underway on lap 33. There was a wreck that we missed that has now since taken out the 50, the 32, 72, 22, 09, 9, and 49. So Kenny Schrader, Casey Kane out of this race. Scott Wimmer out. So Schrader, Wimmer out of the playoffs. The 09 of Bobby Hamilton out. The 32 of Craven out. Kirk Shelmerdine out. 50 of Todd Bodine out. And that leaves Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth also out of the race in 29th and 30th. And for the second season in a row, after winning the 2002 championship, Matt Kenseth will fail to win a race in the regular season and miss the playoffs, ending his hopes of getting a second championship once again early. And Tony Stewart cannot get that second one. He's out. Meanwhile, Jeremy Mayfield leading this race. We got 3 wide battle for second up there. Brendan Gaughan, the lap car, stacking up some guys back here. Kurt Busch, Mark Martin. Of course, Kurt Busch is trying to stay alive, bring it home, get a good finish, and to secure his spot into that playoff field. Maybe get a couple of stage points. That's all he's trying to do here. Just bring it home, get a solid finish, as everyone seems to be going by just fine. Michael Waltrip, Brian Vickers, Dave Blaney, Ryan Newman, everyone to be negotiating here. Kurt Busch also finds his way by. Back at the front here, we got an intense battle, though. Jeremy Mayfield versus Carl Edwards for the lead. How about this? Carl Edwards now taking the lead, moves high to try to get on the lap car. Morgan Shepard, who's holding this back up, cannot do it. Now here comes the one of John Andretti, who will go the inside for DEI. And here comes Casey Mears as well in the 41. He came in just +4 over Kurt Busch. Now with Dale Jarrett out, Casey Mears is in prime position to get good stage points and secure himself into the playoffs with his first ever win earlier this season at Las Vegas, and to point his way in the final few races here. But it's Andretti leading, Mears is second, then is Robbie Gordon, Carl Edwards, Joe Nemechek, Kyle Petty, Mayfield, Ward Burton, the rest of the pack here. But John Andretti will lead 35 laps into the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. And now we move on here to lap 41. Got 8 to go in stage number 1. Carl Edwards leading this race, doing a great job. Second week in a row, leading laps at the front of the field, running very well for Carl Edwards. Jeremy Mayfield, John Jackson, we're 4 wide for 4th place right now. Let's not get anyone coming. There goes the 45. Kyle Petty goes spinning. Jimmy Spencer sent through the grass. Kyle Petty spins. His car will come to a rest here on the apron. He'll get back going. No damage, so he will be just fine. But 4 wide, not working coming out of turn 4. He gets slammed by Jimmy Spencer. Then Kyle Petty goes spinning through the pit entrance into the infield grass here at Daytona. Unfortunate end to the day for him. Well, unfortunate end to that run for him. He'll be fine. He'll be able to continue. Back up the front. We got one car upside down. The 4 of Jimmy Spencer is barrel rolling down the front straightaway. What is happening? Bobby Labonte is destroyed. Michael Waltrip is in it. I can't believe what just happened. I guess the 4 of Jimmy Spencer was, we're getting a quick screenshot here for the thumbnail, but I guess when he came on the track, he just cleaned out Bobby Labonte. Casey Mears got collected in this as well, the 41. That's huge playoff implications. He cannot afford to get in this race, as Kurt Busch can jump him, so there's a new winner. Mears would be the one out, possibly. We will see what happens here. As now we're going to watch out for Jimmy Spencer. He's going, Mach 5 down pit road through the grass, Mears back on the track, and Mrs. Harvick wipes out Bobby Labonte, takes out poor Casey Mears, and then Spencer starts barrel rolling down the front straight. Mark Martin, Jimmy Johnson, the whole back very lucky. The Michael Waltrip tries to avoid Bobby Labonte, ends up T-boning him. And so that will eliminate both Bobby Labonte and Michael Waltrip from the playoffs. They had both made it last season, winning multiple times. So Michael Waltrip's streak of making the playoffs will come to an end, as will Bobby Labonte. Both tough seasons not going their way. They are both out. Casey Mears is also going to be out of this race, which is big for the playoffs. As now on the last lap of stage 1, John Andretti in the lead, but Joe Nemechek in second, trying to get 10 points to make sure he'll have the points area covered. For if he wins this race, he'll get in the playoffs. Kevin Harvick, last car in the lead lap, way back here, going way off the pace, surprisingly. I mean, he's a contender in this race. I don't know why he's your Daytona 500 champion. I don't know why he's all the way back there. But it's John Andretti leading. Joe Nemechek trying to set him up for a move here. And second, there goes Joe Nemechek to the inside, down the back straightaway. Nemechek going for the lead here at Daytona as we toss the yellow command now. Once Harvick's cross line, Nemechek to the inside. He's going to have the momentum on the inside of Andretti. Neither guy has any help. Nemechek's Chevrolet is just faster than Andretti's. And Nemechek to the point, coming to the flag here to end stage 1. As they come down the front straightaway in the tri-oval for the final time. Joe Nemechek will win stage 1 on a last lap pass. John Andretti second. It is Terry Labonte third, Mayfield in fourth. Then it is Jeff Green, Dave Blaney, Greg Biffle, Rusty Wallace, Kurt Busch, and Carl Edwards. So 2 points for Kurt Busch. That puts him at only 2 behind Casey Mears and 13 behind Dale Jarrett. Terry Labonte leading this race now on lap 62. Edwards, Rusty Wallace for a second. Watch out for the lap car. Brendan going though, and upside down goes the 97 of Kurt Busch. He's up and over, flipping down the front straightaway. And Mayfield and Jimmy Johnson, the 2 fighting for the regular season title, are also involved in this crash, which I think will pretty much lock in Jimmy Johnson as your regular season champion. But Kurt Busch, he hopes with the amount of cars that are out of this race, I think Kurt will end up DNFing in about 22nd, which will certainly beat Dale Jarrett for that final spot in the playoffs. The question is, if we have a new winner, who will be in, either him or Casey Mears. Right now, they're currently going to be tied at the bubble, and Johnson and Mayfield also destroyed in this. Johnson was first in the points. Mayfield was third in the points coming into this race, fighting for the regular season title. But Johnson and Mayfield are both going to be out here with Kurt Busch. Are going to wreck out together, which means Jimmy Johnson should pretty much easily secure his first ever regular season title as Wallace and Nemechek lead the race. So Jimmy Johnson's racing champion. Now on to the last lap of stage 2. It is Ward Burton in the lead, looking for his second stage win of the season, chasing down Mark Martin and Robbie Gordon. We're both trying to stay on the lead lap. Robbie Gordon's going to bring her into pit road here. This is the middle of a green flag cycle. Robbie Gordon comes into pit, but we toss the yellow command for the end of the stage as Ward Burton will win stage 2 here at Daytona, his second stage win of the season. And we can't really find out who's second because of how the order's all jumbled up. It's in the middle of a pit cycle. But basically, Rusty Wallace, Terry Labonte, Dave Blaney, John Andretti, Carl Edwards, Nemechek is going to get some more points. So is Harvick, Mark Martin, Kyle Petty. But all we need to know is that Ward Burton is your stage 2 winner here in Daytona. And so now we move on to 49 laps to go in this race. As Terry Labonte leading 3 wide for a second. That is Nemechek, Martin, Rusty Wallace. Carl Edwards just got on the wall a little bit right there, racing too hard. There's Harvick about to go 4 wide, and Andretti tries to go underneath. Nemechek gets turned by Mark Martin, and the wall they go. Around goes Nemechek. Edwards gets damaged, spinning back up the track, and a big hit there from Morgan Shepherd. And heartbreak for Joe Nemechek. So close to finally making the playoffs. Gets taken out 48 laps short of the finish at Daytona while running inside the top 3. Absolute heartbreak here. See the replay. He gets hooked by Mark Martin to the outside wall. And then he gets hit from Carl Edwards from behind in the back end of the pack where he gets drilled by Morgan Shepherd and Jamie McMurray. And that will put an end to Joe Nemechek's day and playoff hopes. And basically hopes of anyone upsetting the guys that we have in. They'd have to outpoint the winners that we have right now. And Morgan Shepherd also out after having a solid run today. So at the front, your race leader is going to be scored as Terry Labonte. Now we want to just a white flag in the air. Final laps are coming back here at Daytona for Kevin Harvick, about to do the Daytona sweep, win the Daytona 500 and the Pepsi 400 in the same season to get win number 3 this season. Once again, like he did last season when he won the championship, catching momentum at the right time of the season. Going to get a win here at Daytona. Could completely turn the direction his season has been going around and propel him into a deep playoff run to try to defend that championship. And it will remain as the battle between Dale Jarrett, Casey Mears, and Kurt Busch. Who will be in between those 3 drivers? As Harvick gets around Ricky Rudd for the final time, goes another lap down. He will be eliminated, of course, from playoff contention after a tough day today. And through turn 4 and to the tri-oval for the final time, Kevin Harvick, the closer, does it again and sweeps Daytona, winning the Pepsi 400, 3rd win on the year, 6th win of his young career. Robbie Gordon comes home 2nd. Dave Blaney in 3rd for an RCR 1-2-3 at Daytona, exactly as Richard Childress drew it up. Then Ward Burton in 3rd. Jeff Green comes home in... Ward Burton's 4th. Jeff Green comes home 5th. 6th place goes to Terry Labonte. Carl Edwards, another outstanding run in 7th. John Andretti a lap down in 10th. Kyle Petty comes home 8th. And Bill Elliott comes home 9th. So 2 top 10s and 2 starts for Bill Elliott this season. But Kevin Harvick gets the win at Daytona. Sweeps the season. here at this racetrack, and gets a 6th career victory and looks to defend that championship. See the final race results on the side of your screen. Of course, the last DNF being Joe Nemechek, coming so close to saving his season, but will come up short. And now we see the final regular season point standing playoff grid update in a few short moments. And so the final regular season point standings, Kurt Busch and Casey Mears tie for 15th, 1 point over Dale Jarrett, who had made the playoffs each of the last 2 seasons, will be knocked out here in 2004 by 1 singular point. Heartbreak for the 88 team. That'll leave Elliott Sadler alone. No teammates, of course, Matt Kenseth, Bobby Labonte, Joe Nemechek, Ricky Rudd, all miss the playoffs, failing to win a race. But heartbreak for Jarrett, missing by just 1 point. But Casey Mears and Kurt Busch are in the chase. They will have a shot at this championship. Now we get the playoff grid heading to the opener of the round of 16 at Darlington. Jimmy Johnson, your regular season champion, at plus 24. Mark Martin, Elliott Sadler, Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Gordon, double digits to the cut line. That's tight from 6th on down. Only 12 points between 6th and 16th. So it'll be a very interesting playoff grid. The 4 drivers currently out are Brian Vickers, Kurt Busch, Greg Biffle, and Casey Mears. So until the next episode for the 2004 Chase opener at Darlington for the Southern 500, I hope you all have a good one.